Chapter 1. We start off as we see our MC looking at a girl standing on top of a staircase. She tells him that it's been a long time since she last saw him. She smiles and says that at the behest of her brother, she came to him as payment for his debt, and she's looking forward to working with him in the future. The MC looks confused as he asks her if she's Miyamae Akari, Subaru's younger sister. She replies and says yes. As the MC walks up the stairs confused, he asks her, "Did I hear that wrong? What's the matter about the debt?" She replies and tells him that he's not mishearing things and that she's here to pay her brother's debt. He gets even more confused and surprised. He recalls the time when his friend Subaru was apologizing to him about the 500 yen he borrowed last time and asks him if he can pay it back a bit later. The MC tells him that he can pay it back anytime and asks him if he doesn't have that kind of money. Subaru tells him that he does have the money, but they are having their first summer vacation in college, so he has a lot of plans. The MC looks at him and asks him if he's going out with her. Hearing this makes Subaru giggle. Subaru points at the MC and tells him that he can't bear to have him wait for him to pay the money back due to his own reasons, so he will be giving him the one thing that's more important than his life as the payment to the debt. He smiles and tells him to enjoy his time until he gets paid back. The MC replies and tells him that's a lot of exaggeration for 500 yen and says that he's looking forward to it. Now in the present, we see the MC pouring tea into a glass as he panics and thinks that he can't believe that Subaru sent his sister away with that reason, and what the hell was that guy even thinking? As he's pouring the drink, we see Akari looking at him with great interest from the living room. He gives her the glass of drink with lots of ice in it as he says, "You came all the way out here from your parents' house? It must have been hot. Here's some barley tea." She receives the tea and thanks him. As he drinks the tea, he thinks that he'll have a little chat, and then he'll let her go home. Akari asks him if she can have some of that sugar if he doesn't mind. He replies and tells her that he only has stick sugar. She tells him that stick sugar is totally fine. She takes the stick sugar and pours it into the barley tea. The MC looks at her do this, and with a smile on his face, he tells her that it's nostalgic, seeing this as it was very popular when he was in elementary school. She drinks the tea and looks at him with a smile and tells him that she really likes this taste. Seeing her smile surprises him for a second. He composes himself and tells her once again that it really has been a while since he saw her. It's been 5 months, ever since his high school graduation ceremony. He continues and tells her that it's nice to see her again, and it must have been very hard for her to keep up with Subaru's foolish talks. Hearing this surprises her. She immediately perks up and goes real close to him as she tells him that her brother's talks are not nonsense. Seeing her react like this confuses him. As she's real close to him, she tells him, "There's a saying, he who laughs at a penny will cry at a penny. 500 yen, borrowing and lending money, even for 1 coin, if he can't pay it back, then I'll give up her life for him. It's common sense, right?" Hearing her say all this makes him concerned. She continues as she stands up. She tells him that as a form of payment until her brother returns the 500 yen, she'll gladly become his property. Seeing her say all this so boldly shocks him as she stands there with a smile. He gets confused as he thinks if this girl is for real right now. He immediately tells her no, and that it's really strange, no matter how he thinks about it. Hearing this reply shocks her. Suddenly she starts crying as she asks him if he really hates her so much, and if she's not even worth 500 yen. He panics and tells her that's not what he meant, and that they can't put a price on a person in the first place. She keeps crying as he says this. He can't see her crying as she makes a cute face and finally gives in. He scratches his head as he tells her that if she insists so much and asks her if they should get started. She stands in stiffly and says, "Yes." She starts fidgeting as she blushes and tells him to please use her as much as he'd like. With a straight face, he tells her to please clean his room. Hearing this confuses her. He closes his eyes and thinks that he's going to ask her to work for 500 yen and get rid of the debt. As he's thinking this, she suddenly calls him. Getting called by her surprises him. She suddenly jumps and hugs him. Getting hugged by her makes him blush. As she blushes while hugging him, she looks at him and says, "Let me use my body to serve you." Seeing her up close and hearing her say that makes him blush and panic. He pushes her away and tells her that she doesn't have to go that far to get out of debt, and asks her to please clean up as usual. Hearing him say this leaves her confused. She suddenly falls on the floor as she looks sad and disappointed. Seeing her like this makes him ask her if she hates cleaning that much. She replies and tells him no problem, and that she has her own cleaning supplies for occasions like this, As the atmosphere around her is gloomy, she looks through her bag as she says that, as the saying goes, haste makes waste. She's not sure if she's ready for this, and it's important for her to show her homie side and earn some points. Seeing her gloomy worries the MC. She turns around, and as she pouts, she tells him that she'll do her best. 1 hour later, we see the room all sparkly clean. We see her wearing an apron as she looks tired and says, "I guess that's it." Seeing how clean the house is makes the MC happy. He tells her that this is amazing, and it looks more beautiful than when he first moved in. Hearing him say this makes her happy, as she tells him that she's glad to hear it. She continues and tells him that she'll clean it every day from now on. Hearing this surprises him. He tells her that he's already gotten more than a yen's worth out of her for what she's just worked for, and she's done paying it back. Hearing this shocks her. She gets angry and asks him if this is the end of the debt, and questions what is he talking about. She pulls out her phone like it's morphing time and tells him that the rent for his room is 60,000 yen, including the management fee. He gets surprised and asks her if her brother told her this. She starts calculating as she says that if they divide 60,000 yen by 30 days per month, that's 2,000 yen per day. If they take the hourly wage for cleaning as 1,000 yen, even if that cancels out the rent, it still is 1,000 yen short. He gets confused and tries to tell her that the house rent has nothing to do with her. She hears him and says, "Okay, we'll split it 50-50, but if they divide 2,000 yen by 2, that's 1,000 yen. So it's a ton of money with the move they just made." Seeing her doing more calculations gets him worried as he wonders how can they split the rent if she's not the one living here. She still doesn't listen, and smugly tells him that if she were to work for another 30 minutes here, she now has earned 500 yen, and it will be repaid, just as what she had thought. Hearing all this worries him more. He apologizes to her because he can't keep up with her. She continues and tells him that even if she works for 8 hours instead of 30 minutes, she would not be able to pay off the debt at all. The MC looks tired of this as he asks her if she can't hear him. She keeps yapping and tells him that 7 hours worth, minus the rent, in other words, all of the 7,000 yen earned. He'll lose 7 days worth of utility bills. The compensation will disappear and her burden. He gets shocked from hearing about the compensation part. He looks concerned as he asks her what does she mean by the rent that they talked about earlier. She gets shy and fidgets with her hands as she tells him that she'll be living here starting from today. Hearing this shocks him big time. He can't believe what he heard. So he asks her if she said that she's going to live here from today. She cheerfully tells him, well, of course, I have a debt to pay off, and she can't serve him if she's not by his side. He tells her that even if he admitted it, he thought that Akari should go to Subaru's house instead as that guy lives alone. She replies and tells him that her brother is currently on a vacation in Saipan, which is a tropical island in the Pacific Ocean. Hearing her say this shocks him as he questions, he has that much money? She looks sad as she tells him that she told her parents that he was going to her cram school and that she went to her brother's place to get some help with her studies. If she gets kicked out by him, she will have nowhere to go. Hearing this worries him as he asks her if she lied to her parents and tells her that she can't stay with some stranger. As he's saying this, she suddenly goes into another room as she says, "Oh, it's here." He sees her go and asks, "What?" We see a suitcase in the living room as she says that the change of clothes and other things have finally arrived. The MC sees this and stands there stunned. She walks up with her futon in hand and a huge big smile on her face. He sees this and gets scared as he asks, "Wait, what? You were ready to move in from the very start, weren't you?" She unties her apron and lets her hair loose. She sits down in Seiza and tells him with a smile that she's looking forward to working with him from today. Hearing this shocks the MC so much that he goes blank for a second and falls down at the corner of his room. He starts thinking what the hell is going on here. Something's wrong. Not just something. Everything here is wrong. He thinks that a friend who has a lot of money but wouldn't return a mere 500 yen. On the other hand, his sister who accepts the debt with satisfaction. His head starts going crazy from thinking all this. He wonders if there is something behind this, and if this is a prank. He's being pranked by these two siblings, but he thinks that neither Subaru nor Akari are the type to do bad things. He can't make sense of all this and falls on the floor. As she's looking at him like a curious dog, he sees her and thinks that no matter what he does, he can't kick her out. He's lost the desire to resist. As he's on the floor, he asks her how long is she planning to stay. She replies and says, until her brother's debt is settled, or, as she says this, she gets real close to him and says, until my purpose is fulfilled. He looks at her and asks, Akari-chan's purpose? She replies and tells him that it's a secret. She gets embarrassed as she tells him that she'll let him know if she wants to, and she just can't say it for now. Either way, she hopes to settle this around during the summer break. Hearing this suddenly makes him realize something. He realizes that he will be under the same roof with her for a month. As she's drinking the tea, he wonders just how much faith do they have in him, and thinks that he's seriously going to collect that 500 yen from Subaru for this. He turns to her and tells her that she's changed a lot, or maybe he just didn't notice before. He tells her that she was more mature before, and he didn't expect her to be pushy. She fidgets as she slowly tells him that she had to change for the future that she really wants to have. He looks at her eyes and thinks that after seeing those eyes filled with determination, he doesn't think that she really came here just for fun. He suddenly gets up and gets a glass of tea and pours stick sugar in it. As he's a little shy, he tells her that they should do a welcome toast. Hearing this confuses her a little. She blushes as he tells her that she will have to tell him exactly what her purpose is someday. She suddenly realizes that he has no problem with her living there now, and gets all flustered as she tells him, yes. She gets so happy that she starts crying as she puts up her glass to toast. He also smiles at her as he toasts the glass. As they toast, she tells him that she's looking forward to working with him for a long time. Hearing this worries him as he asks her, it's only for summer vacation, right? As they do this, he explains that this is how the strange summer vacation of a high school girl and him, connected by a 500 yen coin, began. And this is how this chapter ends. Hope you all enjoyed. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. Thank you